Welcome to Sharper Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet. We are part of the Volume Podcast Network. This is the show that makes the squares sharper and makes the wise guys pay attention. I am Chad Millman. I am joined, as always, by my BFF, my companion, my compadre, my co-host, professional bettor, Simon Hunter. Hello, Simon.
Chad, how we doing?
I don't feel like I got English enough on that. Hello, Simon. That's better.
There you go.
Dude, there's so much news impacting the lines since the trade deadline. And there's also just been general massive line movement overall since we did our show on Tuesday. Freaking wild. Absolutely freaking wild. I don't know if you've got any deep thoughts on that. Let's hold them, because I want to hear what the wise guys have to say in sharp calls. This is our Thursday Week 10 episode. We're going to narrow down the options on the 5 picks we like the best. We're going to inch our way closer. Subscribe to Sharper Square on YouTube, Apple Pods, Spotify. Let's get into this thing every week. You know what we do. We are going to hear from Simon's fellow professional bettors on all the conversations we had on Tuesday. They've always got opinions. I have no doubt they'll have a lot of things to say about what we discussed. Let's get to Sharp Calls.
I have to answer this phone.
Yeah, let's start where guys are on the opposite of us, which, you know, I always love hearing the other side. And the one that really jumped out was the Chargers. Hearing a lot of love from the pros on the Chargers.
Really?
Maybe we're suckers. I just can't get over getting +3 here. That's gonna be a fun one to break down some more.
Yeah, that's the Chargers-Steelers game, and we're definitely gonna discuss that one. So good.
But yeah, a lot of pros love the Chargers. Big Chargers spot, I guess. Let's start with the Rams as well. A lot of pros I talked to took Rams money. Shocked by that one. Commanders was a big talking point this week. I definitely remember us. Or at least myself, I like Detroit. I still do. I'm happy they're betting it down. That's a fun one. We can break down some more. Patriots, couldn't believe it. A lot of love from the Patriots. Once again, I'm dug in. I really like Tampa, starting to love it even more as I see the injury report and what guys are healthy for this Tampa team. So pretty interesting how much love there is for this Patriots side. And the sides we agree on, Chad, we already knew. Jets, that was going to be a pro side.
Yeah.
It's fluctuated this number since the trade deadline. That's going to be a fun one to break down. Miami, tons of love from the pros. Tons of love for Houston. I'm going against the pros here. I didn't even mention it. The Raiders. Talked to some pros that really like that one. Again, another game I hold steady fast, and I really like Denver in that spot. And the last one that shocked me, tons of love for the pros on this Bears side. A game that I feel like we were kind of on the other side of it.
Yeah.
We talked how we kind of like the Giants. I'll give you some reasons why they like that Bears side if we break that game down later.
Oh, we're going to break it down because it's one of the games that I was thinking about, and it was in contention for brass balls because that number has moved quite a bit, and I haven't been able to figure out why, other than professional money coming in on the Bears in this spot. So you also mentioned another game that I've been getting more and more nervous about, which is the Bucs, because I cannot figure out how that line hasn't moved from 2.5 to 3 yet. So some pushback from the wise guys is probably why. But first, let's get to that Raiders-Broncos game. Obviously, it's our Thursday show, so a lot of people might not hear the show until after the game. You're getting some feedback from the professionals on the Raiders side. We both love Denver, and this wasn't even a question. We actually were debating if Denver was going to be Simon Says or Chad's choice, because we both liked it so much. We liked it at 8.5. It's now at 9.5. I don't know what the wise guys are seeing in the Raiders. You can't take anything from that game against a Jags team that lost their best pass rusher because he tried to punch a guy in the face. And you're still playing against a not very good defense. Brock Bowers was wide open every play. Isn't all this stuff the Broncos can account for in a short week in a game the Raiders went to a full overtime and they're not a very good team? I don't get it.
Yeah, I think most of the white guys I talk to, they just don't trust, a quarterback like Bo Nix to be this big of a favorite in a divisional game, especially when you look at the history of Denver, right? And this is the hardest part too, because to me, a lot of it's irrelevant to the history of Denver before Sean Payton took over, but they have not won against a divisional opponent in a primetime game since like 2017. Okay,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
That was my exact pushback. It's like, well, if you look at those teams from those years, they were bad. They had bad coaches. They just weren't good, and they've been in a really competitive, tough division all throughout those years. So that makes sense, though, why they'd push back, because it is technically a huge number in a divisional game in a short week. But I already gave it out. I gave out that overtime stat, which to me is just makes so much sense. And it was actually wrong. I thought it was 3-23. I forgot last year the Bears in this exact spot actually won and covered last year against the Lions. Remember that insanely fluky game on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I do, where the Lions should have been up 72-0 in the first half. And then
even then, they were up 21-0 or 21-3 the first half, and somehow Bears came back and covered really late. So, I'm not going to get pushed off this one. I get where they're coming from, and I'm with you. I just think defensively, schematically, they can take away Bowers, and then what are you going to do as an offense? I know they're trying to establish a run, but it just hasn't been working. Chip Kelly, whatever he's trying to do, it's not been working with that run game. And Geno, I still think, even in that game, as good as he looked, he still had so many horrible throws, so much questionable movement with his feet, and it's just a really tough spot. Obviously, we talked about it being on a short week here on the road against a Denver team that, we put it as one of the best teams in all football. We're respected in that way, defensively especially. So I know it's a lot to swallow Bo Nix here, but I can't get away from it, Chad. I really like it, and I don't know, maybe we do put in the contest. We'll figure it out, because there are 5 games I like this week, but people know I really love this game. I love this matchup. First half Denver, full game Denver. I'm all over it.
Yeah, same. Not shame, same. Maybe we'll be shamed, but I don't think so. This was one, coming out of my 1-4 malaise. This is one of the games that made me start to feel like, okay, I can see it. I have clarity. I'm feeling confident. Felt good about this one.
God, we need it. We cannot start the week 0-1.
Dude, we freaking need it. As Bob Scucci, our old friend Bob Scucci, like to say, we need this for our lungs. We are underwater. All right, New York Giants at the Chicago Bears. This line, it blew up over the last 48 hours. It got up to 4.5. It's down to 4 at Hard Rock. We've talked about Hard Rock. It's a sharp book. So that gives you an indication of what the wise guys think when this line got to 4.5. But they also love the Bears at 3. They love the Bears at 3.5, and some pushed it up to 4, from 4 to 4.5. I started to see the Giants, and I talked about this on Tuesday. The Bears' run defense is so bad. And not their run defense, their pass defense is so bad. And their secondary is so bad. You could see how Jackson Dart could have a lot of success against the Bears in a defense that, by the way, has not been able to hold anybody under a 25-point game. I'm exaggerating, but that's basically the line of demarcation here, unless they were forcing a bunch of turnovers. They won against the Commanders because of a bad handoff that got them the win in that primetime game against Jaden Daniels. They beat the Cowboys because of a bunch of turnovers. They beat the Saints, which still came close to covering, because of a bunch of turnovers. Every other game they've had, it's going down to the wire, and it's close, and they're winning because there's something fluky happening and because Ben Johnson is a miracle, not because this team is very good. So 4.5 just feels like too many points. I'm surprised to hear the wise guys say they're liking the Bears here.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to join them here, Chad. If you really don't like a side here, I think there is still value on the total. The total is down to 46.5, and all the reason behind this movement to me is because of the weather people. We're tracking models, you're getting tons of info, and right now, a bunch of different models are predicting rain or snow and very cold temperature in this matchup, which to me favors this Bears team that wants to run the ball heavily and has one of the best run schemes in all football against a defense that is really bad. Giants are bottom 30 in the league.
Terrible.
Yeah, defending the run.
They're the worst.
Are they now? Yeah. So it's
and
just
the Bears. You're right. I'm just obviously I have a strong opinion about the Bears. their run offense has been so good, and that is a major, major factor against this team. And the weather, you're right, could be, it just might play into the way Ben Johnson wants to play this game. It'll give him an excuse not to let Caleb Williams throw the ball.
Yeah, and again, you can take these positions and get out of it Sunday if this all blows over and these models are totally off. But, they should be pretty accurate. You're 2-3 days out here. The line has come down from 49 to 46.5. It lets you know the books are getting really, really respected money heavily towards the under. But you're looking at the splits right now. It's still mostly towards the over. I mean, the tickets and the money is slanted towards the over. The public, obviously, like we talked about, they're going to be on this Bears team. Like no one's going to be trusting the Giants right now, like what we talked about, right? That's why we kind of like this Giants team. This feels like a good spot for them playing against an inflated Bears team that got really lucky. They covered all those numbers for those people last week, and those people are coming back now, hitting the Bears again. So I'm like you. I wanted to be on the Giants. Was shocked to hear the professionals were taking these heavy positions on the Bears. Now you dive into it and see what the weather could be like. This just feels like a great spot for the Bears team compared to a young rookie quarterback in Jackson Dart who already has fumbling issues, now playing in bad element weather. I don't know. I can't get there in the Giants if I know that's the scenario. So, yeah, just if you don't want to take a side here, I still think the under has value on it.
Ugh, I hate the Bears in this spot.
I know. It's such a Giants number. It's brutal.
Such a Giants number. I'm going to wait. I'm just waiting. Like I don't think it's going to get to 5, but I'd rather just see the weather and know what I'm betting into on Sunday. I don't have to bet this one. So for me, I'm going to wait. New Orleans at Carolina. Carolina's a 5-point favorite. It was 5.5, moved to 5, still 5 at Hard Rock, 5.5 in a lot of other places. I want to say play the number, but the truth is, like, this number, home or road division dogs of 5+ points, it's basically a 50-50 proposition. So if you're looking at it from that point of view, there is no real edge in terms of historical precedent. Carolina at home is great. The rushing game is great. They're really confident. The Saints are not. They might not have an NFL quarterback on their roster.
Yeah, the number just spooks you. It spooks me too. I'll probably end up just taking a large position with Carolina on the money line and just avoid this game if I can, because it does feel like it's mispriced, and this is a great spot for this Carolina team at home against what we just said is just a non-existent offensive quarterback. And could he show up here and have the game of his life? Yeah, we've seen that happen all the time, right? These guys pop for one game. But just as a betting man, I love this number. And working against the Panthers, just the history of them being a favorite, right? I think they're on a crazy streak. They're 0-10 as a favorite, and that's a lot of Bryce Young too. I think he has 3 or 4 games mixed in there. So, yeah, a game I'm not barely having into. It's just I found other games this week I like a lot more, but still on Carolina's side, still taking the number at -5. But yeah, much more comfortable putting their money line in it. Wow, it's up to -245. So people have been hitting it. It was -210. Yeah, it's been getting hit, this money line on the Panthers.
You know a game that we are into, and I hate to say it, and maybe it's the sickos in us. The Cleveland Browns are visiting the New York Jets. On Tuesday, when we started the show, the Jets, I think, were 2-point favorites. It had gone up from 1.5 to 2. During the show, the news broke that Sauce Gardner was being traded to the Indianapolis Colts for multiple picks. Later in the day, it was announced that the Jets were trading Quinnen Williams, their star defensive tackle, to the Dallas Cowboys for multiple picks. Yesterday, it was announced that Quincy Williams, the Jets starting linebacker, Quinnen's brother, All-Pro in 2023, was being benched for lack of performance. We still don't know who the quarterback is going to be for the New York Jets on Sunday. The New York Jets GM said that the Jets are still trying to win. He knows how much those guys try. We are still trying to win this season. Quote. maybe he and Aaron Glenn are not on the same page, because Aaron Glenn said yesterday, I said we would make the fans proud. I didn't say it would be this season. That gives you a lot of confidence. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, Simon. You ready?
Yeah.
The line has moved to Jets +2 at Hard Rock, +2.5 everywhere else. And the fundamentals of this game remain the same. It was never about the Jets' defense. It's about the Jets' offense against the Browns' defense. Because we have zero expectations that Dylan Gabriel, whether he's playing Quinnen Williams or Sauce Gardner, whoever else is going to be playing in those positions, is not an NFL quarterback. So we were betting, when we liked the Jets the other day, against Dylan Gabriel. Why wouldn't we still be betting against Dylan Gabriel? This is a massive move.
Yeah, a game though I needed to be Justin Fields, honestly. I know it sounds stupid, but I like his matchup a lot against this defensive front in the Cleveland. And shockingly in his career, he does really well against these type of defensive fronts. When he plays a defensive front that's, got a high sack rate above 4%, he's 4-2 against the spread in his career, which again, doesn't sound great. If you look at Justin Fields' career, it's probably the only positive ATS stat he has when you really dive into it. He's just not a covering guy. His whole career, he's just had a rough go of it. And looking at this matchup, it really is kind of weird that the public is so comfortable hammering this Brown side. Even with all the trades, even before that, we were talking on our show, they were loving him then as a favorite. As an underdog. Now they're really still loving him as a favorite. And this to me is going to come down. Tons of pros I know, professional groups, when I come on the Jets. Again, I get why we're doing it, but I am also a little wary of betting this one, because we have to remember these are human beings. How are they going to respond to what's just happened from their front office? Like, their front office basically just waved the white flag on the season. I agree with it too. Some Jet fans are complaining. It's like, dude, you guys, that was like our dream scenario. You dumped two guys that, I don't want to say they're being overpaid, but just they were not going to help you get to where you need to be in the next 2 to 3 years. You need to totally tear it down. So, Dallas, horrible trade in my opinion. Colts, very questionable. But, for the Jets, I love the move. You're stocking up in what should be really good drafts. Now, do you have the front office to make the right picks? That's to be determined. So just for this game, Chad, I like it. It's really about the number, though. This, to me, is going to come down. If you can still get the +2, +2.5 when you hear this, I will take position on the Jets. Once it gets below the 2, I don't know how much I'm going to be investing here until I know exactly who the quarterback is going to be. And if that is, in fact, Justin Fields, we can re-enter this one on Sunday morning and talk about putting in the contest. But as you sit here right now, I'm betting into the 2.5 without even knowing who the quarterback is.
Yeah, I am as well. The flip side of the team sort of being frustrated is new guys get a chance to prove themselves in a wide open situation and put on tape for somebody for next season how well they can play. I never buy the fact that guys are going to stop competing when you're a professional athlete, getting paid, you want to stay in the league. This is your best chance to do it. There's going to be a guy who's getting a chance to start a cornerback who hasn't a chance to do that.
I meant Breece Hall. Breece Hall had a foot out the door, was almost on the Kansas City Chiefs. Kid to wake up today and he's still on the Jets. That's got to be weird mentally. And I'm sure he'll get it back. He's a professional. But I just think of all of those scenarios like that. The guys on this team, you were so close to being on a winning team. Obviously, not everybody. Some guys went to Dallas. That's a tough trade, but. I thought it was really interesting that they didn't move Breece Hall because they apparently wanted a third and then take a fourth. And it's like, what are you doing, Jets? Just sell it all, man. You're trying to lose here. And Breece Hall, again, is someone that's backed the Jets here. I am so happy he's still on this team. They need him offensively. He's by far their best weapon.
Well, look, the flip side is Breece Hall keeps showing how good he is, and next year he just gets a bigger deal from somebody.
Yeah, that's the hope.
So, yeah, hate to say it, but we're kind of on the Jets. Jacksonville at Houston. Houston, look, on Tuesday, we talked about wanting to wait on this game until Houston was an underdog. Houston is an underdog. It's 1 at Hard Rock Bet, 1.5 in a lot of other places. We're just betting on the defense. We're not betting on Davis Mills, who we would expect Davis Mills is going to be a little bit better because, I mean, obviously he has limitations, but he's got a full week of practice. He's not coming in the end at the beginning of the second quarter in a game plan that was built for somebody else entirely. So I still like Houston here a lot. I like him as an underdog a lot, Simon.
Be patient. Hard Rock here in Jersey's already just moved to +2. So
really?
Yeah, so there's going to be money coming on the Jaguars. The Jags have owned the Texans. Like in their last couple of meetings, they've just, even when CJ's been the quarterback, they've kind of owned them. It's a really weird matchup. Just divisional. You talk all the time. There's a couple of divisional games this week. I'll give out the trends. There's just trends that favor certain teams, certain matchups. So, yeah, a game I'm with you on. I really love the Texans here, but I'm trying to be patient, trying to avoid this if I can, because it's like I'm not going to force this one unless I'm getting a really good number. So it's 2 at Hard Rock right now. A couple books, like we say, Hard Rock's a sharp book. A couple public books have already popped 2.5. So this could get to 3 by Sunday. Like I just see the public really coming on this Jaguars team as the week goes along here. Again, it's Davis Mills. Like I get it. Like this should be a great spot for this Jaguars team, and we love Houston's defense. They can only do so much, like we say all the time. So I'm like you. I still like Houston. I'm going to be patient here. Get a better number, like I said. This is moving up, people. You can get 2.5 right now. Key number. I'm going to grab that on Houston.
A lot of sort of be patient conversation right now.
Because the numbers are moving against us. I just don't want us to take bad numbers here when we can get, it looks like we're going to get some good numbers this weekend.
Right. So if you can get, I would say if you can get Houston 2.5, get Houston 2.5. I don't know that it'll go to 3. At some point, there's going to be like an aggressive amount of buyback from professionals. I'm actually surprised it's getting as high as it is, knowing that most of the people I'm talking to like Houston as an underdog, and we're just waiting for it to get to that number. So the fact that it's still going up, what is that saying to me right now?
What do you mean? Some pro money said this Jaguars side.
I know. Well, that,
that's okay.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking. I like it when we're all aligned, when everyone's together. It's like a group sweat. It's a grouper. New England at Tampa Bay.
There we go. Finally some good games.
Tampa Bay is a 2.5-point favorite. This was Chad's choice. I got to tell you, I'm a bit disappointed that it hasn't moved even a half point to 3. It's especially concerning because while the tickets are on the Bucs, even more money is on the Bucs. And so that tells me that there is some wise guy love for Tampa Bay, despite what we talked about in sharp calls. And I kind of don't get it. Like, the Bucs have had extra rest, which means Baker is hopefully cured of some of the ills that ailed him. We don't know about Bucky Irving. We know that their offensive line could be improved. We know there's going to be a lot of passing in this game. Fine. But I like the coaching matchup. I like the Bucs at home. I like the Bucs coming off rest. I like fading the Patriots when they're finally playing a competitive team on the road, a more challenging team. Give me the other side here, unless we're both aligned and the Bucs are going to be the ones that we love.
Yeah, I love them too. I'm just, people be cautious here. It actually has hit 3 a couple of times this week, and it's been bet away very quickly. So there is some very smart money that's resisting this at 3. So it's letting you know that professionals are betting that this will be a close game, where me and you are betting that this won't be, honestly. Like, because we're taking 2.5 here. We know the deal with Baker, right? Like, he wins close games, usually by a field goal. At 2.5, again, like I'm like you, I can't believe we're getting away with this. It feels like a very, very nice number with a quarterback that tends to play close games under a field goal. So I get where the pros are coming from. I get their position on this New England team. They've been riding them a lot this season. They've been paying them out. This is another true test spot for New England, right? Like, this is a game where I think we're on alignment. Like, they should get rolled here. A lot of questions, though, about the health of this Bucs team. Like Chad said, we don't know yet if Bucky Irvin's back. Chris Godwin still hasn't practiced yet this week. Those are 2 huge pieces, 2 all-pros to that offense that they need in this game. So I'm hoping they come back, and if they get cleared, this number does move. Maybe that's what's holding up the line moving here. But yeah, just breaking this one down. Even, not just going to give Will Campbell too hard of a time last week because you're going against Myles Garrett or 2 weeks ago, and then he kind of got embarrassed last week against Atlanta. Like Atlanta's line got a ton of pressure against this New England front. You expect the Bucs defense and the blitz scheme they run, should get pressure against Drake May. We've seen him kind of, that's the only thing I really struggles with when he can't do what he's so great at, which is getting outside the pocket and use his legs running for 10 yards. If you keep him contained, bottle him up, he'll struggle. And we know that's what Todd Bowles likes to do. I mean, I'm a huge Hurts guy. Every time Hurts struggles against this Bowles defense, it's because he bottles up with 5 in the front. So I'm with you, Chad. We'll see Sunday. Maybe I'll get more info and maybe I can talk us out of it. But as we sit here right now, I've bet heavily into the Bucs. I love the Bucs. I think it's a great number. And I think this Patriots team is, just like last week, a little overvalued. And I think they're overvalued here. This probably should be 3.5. It's 2.5. Come on. We can't avoid this one. It's too good.
Tampa Bay Bucs, they're going to be in the final 5. It's going to be hard to keep them out.
We'll see. Feeling. We'll see what I talk to this weekend, because I'm like, if I have a really smart group being like, yeah, this is a Patriots spot. You guys got to avoid this one. Okay, maybe I can talk you out of it, but I'm so bet into it. So are you. I'm with you. I can't see it not being one of our 5.
Simon, you and I are the really smart group. That's right. The ball game. You and I are the smart group. They should be worried about us. If they're betting the Patriots, they should be like, oh shit. Chad and Simon. It was Chad's choice this week, and Simon has bet into it. Like, we got to rethink. That's how it should go here.
But the issue, it's us, there's public, the pros, everybody, all of us are on Tampa. I've only heard a couple of really smart guys on New England. And like you said, this number is hitting so much resistance at 3. I'm just making sure we're not missing something here, because it's interesting. Like you said, this has not gone to 3. I thought this would for sure be 3 by Thursday.
Yeah, I'm actually a little shocked myself. All that alpha talk aside, I'm a little shocked myself. You know what I'm not shocked about? That we're talking about Arizona as a 6.5-point underdog at Seattle, and that we are going to make the Arizona Cardinals as 6.5-point underdogs our brass balls bet of the week.
You know what it takes? It takes brass balls.
We got what we wanted. Jacoby Brissett is starting. And in what has to be the ballsiest, I feel like we're doing this in honor of Jonathan Gannon. Because Jonathan Gannon, in 3 different press conferences over the past few days, has basically said they're benching Kyler Murray. At first, he said they were doing this because Jacoby Brissett was continuing to perform well, and there was also issues with Kyler Murray in the health bucket. And then he said, we're doing it because Jacoby Brissett is playing well, and it's better for the offense to be able to plan with consistency over the course of the week. They have since put Kyler Murray on IR to, quote, be able to focus on his rehab, which leads to the question, what has he been doing? He hasn't played in a month. Is he going to focus harder over the next 4 weeks? Like, everything about this, and this was really telling, the Arizona Republic wrote, for the first time in 7 years, Kyler Murray is not the starting quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. The underlying meaning there is that Jacoby Brissett is the number 1 QB, and Kyler Murray has been benched. And you can read into it any way you want about him going on IR. That could just be, all right, we're going to take some of the pressure off of this conversation. But before he went on IR, the coach had basically said, Brissett is going to give us the best chance. We're going with Brissett. That's interesting to me. Now, the question becomes, are we stepping in it with the Cardinals? Because does it become too public to go with a dog that just came off a big win with a quarterback we know has been streaking after winning on Monday night?
Yeah, I have some good stats to go against that. And I will say the Collier stuff, I was taken back by it. I can't believe they went this route, but it makes sense because what we talked about, how much better the teams looked.
So much better.
With Brissett running the offense, and the fact that if you do put him in this spot, right, put him on IR, maybe it does save a little face and saves a little bit of trade value for you if you're trying to get rid of him in the offseason. And I think anybody knows, even Arizona fans, they saw this week Kyler was practicing. Like, he was running around out there. He was good enough to take reps as if he was going to play last week. He's clearly didn't have some type of setback. Unless we missed it, right? They know more than we do. It's the team inside the building. But, this is pretty shocking turn of event. I saw Kyler Murray. I believe he's 28 years old. Still not too late, brother. Go back to MLB. Go get that money. See if you can make a career out of it. Because it's crazy. He's one of the greatest athletes ever to come out of high school. And it just shows how football, it's so mental. And he never, to me, ever got that aspect down. Was never right mentally. All the talent in the world. I mean, I'll always remember that play against the Raiders. I think it was a 2-point conversion. He ran around the backfield for about 20 seconds. And I think it was like a total of like 80 yards. He scampered.
Yeah.
And put it right back in the end zone for the 2-pointer. So brutal end to that saga. But for this game, let's just look at, okay, like Chad said, isn't this a bad spot? It's a team that won outright on the road as a dog on Monday night. It's actually not terrible statistically. And the next game is an underdog. They're 9-7 straight up, 10-6 against the spread since 2000. It's not terrible. So, like, okay, we got a little something there. Now, this one really jumped out to me. Seahawks and this Cardinals. I talked about divisional matchups. This is crazy, Chad, and very bizarre. Again, it doesn't matter because I guess these two quarterbacks weren't even on these teams when all this went down. But since 2022, Seahawks 8-0 straight up, 7-1 against the spread against this Cardinals team. They've just owned them in this division, which, again, we say all the time that does happen. But I was like, okay, let me find some good Cardinal stats because that's the side we want to be on. It's a lot of Seahawks love here.
Yeah, let's find some bias here. Let's find a way to make us feel comfortable.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just because it feels like this is a great number for the Cardinals team because let's find some stats that fit our narrative and what we want to do. Every week they've been undervalued. So they lost to Tennessee as a 7.5-point favorite with Kyler. The next week they were at the Colts. He was an 8.5-point dog. Would they lose by 4 or 5 points in that game? The following week, they are a 7-point dog to Green Bay at home. They lose that game by 4 points. And then we just saw with Dallas, they were 3.5 points. So to me, the book keeps undervaluing Brissett. That's why it's been hitting. So I was like, okay, what kind of numbers do we have here for teams making a trip out to Seattle on a short week? Which, again, I think that favors the type of quarterback Brissett is, a veteran quarterback that just seems like he's totally in rhythm with this offense. This is pretty wild. Since 2021, teams in this exact spot heading into Seattle on a short week, they're 7-1 straight up and against the spread. So we've talked about the lost art of this Seattle home field advantage, right? Like, we all think back to the Legion of Doom, but these last couple of years has not been so. And then even this year, I've already gave up those stats. They lost to the 49ers in week 1 at home. Okay, we threw that one out. Their defense gave up 38 points or 35 points to Baker at home against Tampa. Like, it's just night and day. Their road splits are insane, how much dominant their defense is and offense is on the road. So I just like this one on a sell point for the Seattle team. So me and Chad loves the plus 6.5 people. I think this will keep moving as well. Like I said, the book, the publics, they keep undervaluing Brissett. So I could easily set in this, get up to 7. Just like last week we talked, I like the Cardinals. They're plus 2.5. I said, if you're patient, this will get to 3 against Dallas. It got up to 3.5 because, again, people just do not believe in Brissett. So look at the splits right now. 80% of the money, 80% of the bets right now are on Seattle. So I think we'll get to the 7. We're giving it out right now at 6.5 at Hard Rock. I love this bet. I love this spot. And, it's always a little scary betting against arguably the best team, hottest team in football right now, which Seattle is. But we're just playing the market, playing the number, and we think this team is overvalued right now.
I would definitely say wait on the 7. I think it's going to get there. This one, unlike the other ones that we've talked about, this one feels like it's trending in that way. There doesn't seem to be much resistance from the bookmakers, and maybe they know they'll get it when it gets to 7. So I'm holding off. I haven't bet it yet. I love it. If I'm not going to get the 6.5, if I'm not going to get the 7, I'll bet the 6.5. But I'm definitely waiting on the 7.
You're going to get it. There's 2 7s right now in Jersey. So there's going to be 7s are going to start popping eventually.
All right. So let's get that 7. All right. Quick word from our sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. Today's show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. This is the golden time of year when it's not just pro football, NBA, college football, college hoops, and hockey all share the stage. There's always something to bet on. If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet yet, there's still time for you to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Just place a $5 bet, and if it hits, you get not only your winnings, but $150 in extra bonus bets. And if you're looking for an edge before you lock in, check out the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. It's loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help guide your picks. Numbers don't lie, and neither does the data in there. Check out the Stats Hub now and get the edge and bet with confidence. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app is the only legal sportsbook for whenever you're in Florida. And it's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado. Coming soon to more states, too. And Hard Rock Bet offers new promos every single day, so whenever you're listening, just open the app and check out what you've got any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. All right, look. The Los Angeles Rams are visiting the San Francisco 49ers. The line right now is 4. On Sunday, it was 3. On Tuesday, it was 3.5. It's 4 at Hard Rock. Honestly, it's 4.5 almost everywhere else. I feel like the bookmakers are telling us, screw off, go ahead and bet the Niners. We dare you. What's interesting to me is I am seeing a much closer split on the betting percentages, meaning the number of tickets between each side, than I am on the money, which is heavily in favor of the Rams. You know, you said in Sharp Calls, wise guys have come in on the Rams. My question is, was that all at 3 and people are ignoring it at 4? Do people like the Niners at 4.5? What's our opportunity here? Because I got an opinion and it makes me scared.
Yeah, I was a little hesitant here because I took a position on the Rams -3, and I said, once I got to 3.5, I want to be on the 49ers, and I was completely wrong. I obviously missed it. Like you said, it's been bet up now to 4.5. Kind of read it as more of a Mac Jones kind of thing, where maybe the line reflects that Purdy will be out another week, and this is kind of settling into what a Mac Jones line is, which is 4.5, which seems fair to me. And, when you want to dive into this game, I think it's pretty simple. You just dive into the head coaches, right? Because the quarterbacks keep changing. The pieces keep changing. Yeah. But when you really get to the basis of it, it's 2 of the best offensive minds in all football going against each other. And it does make a difference where, which one is the underdog. And that tends to be the one I usually take my position on. So just dive into this matchup. I believe this is the 18th time these two guys have met up and matched in this type of game. Shanahan, obviously, he's done best in this matchup. He's 11-7 against the spread. This is exact games. But what I thought was so interesting was diving into what is McVay been as a favorite, because that to me isn't that terrible. 11-7. I thought it was honestly more because it seems like Shanahan owns them. So as a favorite with Stafford, McVay 3-6 against the spread and straight up against Shanahan, and that's including this year where they lost outright at home as an 8-point favorite against McVay on that Thursday night game. We talk all the time. Thursday night are weird games. Stuff like that can just happen. But it's even more so worrying that this game is on the road now. And McVay on the road against Shanahan as a favorite. He's 1-3 straight up and against the spread in this exact spot. So the numbers keep telling you don't want to go with McVay here. And then you dive into it even further when he's on the road straight up in his career against, Shanahan. This is the last 8 times they've played this exact game. He's 1-7, McVay. So he's just struggled mightily against Shanahan on the road in these type of games. And you could say, well, that's kind of fluky because look at all the different quarterbacks through all the years. And that's my whole point, though. It's the coaches stay the same. The schemes stay the same. So I really liked this a lot for this 49ers team. And the only hesitation I have is a stat I gave out that I want to keep hammering home about this team. They cannot handle success. They can't handle winning. I remember 2 weeks ago where I said you had to bet Houston against the 49ers. And one of those stupid stats I gave out that still held true. Since Christmas of 2023, This is from our guy, Evan. 49ers, 1-14 against the spread after a straight-up win. 1-14. So it's like this insane pattern. Even more so, they're 0-3 straight up after a win when they're a dog in the next game. So they're 0-3 against the spread and straight up as a dog in this exact spot since Christmas. And this is just a weird thing where whatever it is, this team doesn't handle the wins and they get overvalued by the books and they have a letdown. So that to me might be the reason these pros are coming on this Rams team. The trends point to it. It's like every time this 49ers team has a big win, especially on the road, they've come home, they've laid total eggs. And that's happened a couple times already this season. So I really do like the Niners here. I'm probably talking myself off it, but I'm not going to force it in. At 4, I won't take it, but at 4.5, I'm taking 49ers there. Once you cross that key number of 4.5, I have to take it, especially where all those trends show. McVay just struggles on the road against Shanahan in this exact spot as a favorite. When people are under betting or not believing this Niners team, they tend to shine in these exact games.
Listen to me.
Listening.
Don't talk yourself out of it. The Niners are the right side here. Last 14 games in this rivalry. The favorite, 1-13 against the spread. Wow.
That's crazy.
The Niners are the side. We knew it on Tuesday. To me, the line is moving not because of the trends. It's moving because of the Niners defense. They're just so banged up. And it's moving because of the Rams' rush defense, which has really become elite. And if you're looking at this game schematically, the best opportunity that the Niners have is to get the ball into McCaffrey's hands 35 times, as they've been doing. But Mac Jones has been showing up, and he's doing exactly what Kyle Shanahan needs him to do. The number is way too big. It shouldn't be 4.5 points. And so that's the side. Simon, you and I, we have confidence. Niners. Niners are the side. No fear. I don't care what anyone else is saying. Here's one that I do have some concerns. This one is at 2.5. It's the Green Bay Packers hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. It was at 2.5. It's moved down a bit to 2. You and I both talked about it on Sunday at 2.5. You said you were hearing a lot of rumblings about the Eagles at 2. I don't know if anyone's going to get to watch this game because it's a Monday night game, and who knows where the YouTube TV ESPN standoff is going to end. But like shutdowns, could this be the moment when it's two massive fan bases that are, bringing the cable giant and the streaming TV giant to its knees? Man, tricky. I don't think you mentioned the Eagles in sharp calls, but I'm still going to go with the Packers.
I am too. I didn't mention it much because it is a little split, but I would say obviously most pros are on Green Bay. But I when I dove back into why my model had this so off, like I said, I think I had it at Green Bay -1. Maybe we're undervaluing Tucker Kraft and what he means to this Green Bay team and how big of a loss that is for this offense. But I can't get over how great of a spot this is for the Packers. So maybe I'll have a stronger opinion come Sunday morning. I can talk more about. There's just other games I bet more into. I just don't know what to do with this one. It's another game where it might be in the 20s, might be a little snowy on Monday night. This could be affected by the weather. And, if there's no Golden, the rookie receiver, and now there's no Tucker Kraft, it's got to be an issue, right? Like a passing attack needs its weapons, especially a team like Green Bay with it's just an unnamed receiving core, right? It's a rotation of guys. Now you're taking away the number 1 tight end and the number 2 receiver. That's got to affect Jordan Love at some aspect. So, for me, I'm still betting the Green Bay, especially at -2, but I don't feel as strongly as I did about it on Sunday night or let alone on Tuesday.
Fair. I don't feel as strongly about it either. I think there's been a lot of movement this week that has made me feel better about games like the Niners. I'm still bought into the Bucs, the Cardinals. The Jets are really interesting to me. I know we like the Broncos too. So I do think we're starting to find consensus on a bunch of games that are probably...
I got a couple games you didn't talk about that I really like.
All right, well, let's talk about it. That's great. I love it.
I know this is Chad's script, but I don't know how you've missed Miami. It's ridiculous.
I just missed it. I looked at it and I'm like, on Tuesday, we talked about liking Miami and it being the side.
Yeah, we hated it. That's how you should know that's the right bet for us and probably should be one of our 5 come Sunday.
All right.
Let me hit you with some numbers.
Talk me into it. Hold on.
I'm going to try here.
But talk me into it. Give me the numbers. But then tell me your hypothesis for the game. How does it play out?
I just love this running matchup. I think Achane against this Bills defense favors this Miami team in a lot of ways. And it's also a unique spot with it's Tua at home with a big number who always covers for us in this exact spot.
Except against the Ravens Thursday night, like a week ago.
Yeah, that was different, though. That wasn't a midday in the sun type of game. That was a primetime late game. Look, we got burned by that one, no doubt. I'm trying not to let that affect us in this game here. I'll hit you with the numbers real quick.
All right, hit me with the numbers.
Josh Allen, let's start with him. The GOAT. We all know how great he is. But on the road, as more than a touchdown favorite, I think we could both agree it feels like he's not that great. And when you dive into the numbers, it proves out. He's 2-6 against the spread in his career on the road as a 7.5-point favorite or more. Okay, not the biggest deal. All right, well, let's dive into some more. Dolphins got blown out last week, right? They were a dog of 7 points or more. They lost by 20 points or more last week. In this exact spot, those type of teams in a bounce back spot, 15-7 against the spread. So like we already knew it's going to be a buy low on this Dolphins team because they just got embarrassed and blown out.
Okay, but every week is buy low. Every week is buy low on the Dolphins.
Nah, I mean, we bought high last week after they blew out Atlanta. That was on us. We misread that one. Tua this week, he just got embarrassed. This is his back-to-back, so his second homestand game, which, you know, we always talk. We love Tua at home or indoors in controlled environments. Tua at home in this exact spot, so his second straight home game in his career. He's 10-2 straight up, 9-3 against the spread. Oh, but Chad, what's he like as an underdog in this exact spot?
Oh, tell me, Simon.
3-0 straight up and against the spread in this exact spot. Tua at home in a back-to-back game as an underdog. So I kept diving into it, and it's like, is there more stats I can pull from to get Chad to try to flip on this one? I got another one for you. Tua at home, 26-11 straight up. And when they lose and they have the following game again at home, he is 3-0 straight up and against the spread, covering those games by 15 points per game. That's an insane stat that he basically, if he gets embarrassed or loses at home, he's dominant in that second game at home. And we've been profitable betting to it at home in that hot sun, whatever it is, all the Mushu and the Neons, it's true. Like teams get burned out, they wear out, and Tua always comes back and covers these big spreads in the second half at home. So I just wanted to bring that game up as a game you're going to need to take a little closer look at. I'm betting into it. I don't feel great about slamming the table about Tua and this Miami team, but this is a great matchup for their offense. And I think defensively, as great as Josh Allen is, and that offense is, Cook is banged up. He's been on the injury report this week, and he's not been practicing. I think that'll be interesting if their number one running back is Ray Davis. Even though Miami doesn't have a good front, that's a huge deal. Cook is like a top 5, top 10 running back in football right now. So that's another reason I think this number has dropped a little bit. Like, again, there's no public or professional love I've honestly found on this Miami team. It's just us, buddy. And that's what makes me love it even more. Everyone's left them for dead in this exact spot. We got to be buying this Miami Dolphins team. I know we need to get out of here. I'll be quick on the next one. Detroit, the pros are all over this Washington team. This number has been bet down now to 7.5. I get it. I'm missing something. This might be a huge blind spot once again, but I have to trust Campbell, just like I did last week. Campbell and Goff on these spots. It's like I've been betting it for so long. We've been making money off it for so long. What do we do here? We're trying to go against our instinct here, and I know it's the very public side. It's probably the most public side of the week, so maybe that's how we'll avoid it. It's so public. Maybe we can talk ourselves out of it, but Goff and Campbell, after a straight-up loss, 21-8 against the spread. Like, it's just what they do. They are on a 12-game covering streak after losing the previous game right now. So every time they've lost, they've come back and covered the following game for 12 straight times. So I just wanted to bring them up real quick. I know that I'm going to get a ton of shit from a lot of the pros this upcoming week at the book. You know, I'm on this public side once again, because again, they're taking a victory lap on the Vikings. They were totally right. Terrible read by me.
I do worry they've got a lot of developing injuries in their offense, specifically in the offensive line, that is impacting their ability to block and their rush game. And I talked about this on Tuesday. I love Detroit last week too. They were Chad's choice as a big number against the Vikings because I had no faith in J.J. McCarthy, and I had all the faith in the Detroit Lions' ability to run the ball against a Minnesota Vikings rush defense that hasn't been playing well this year. The problem is, and I noted this on Tuesday, what we saw on Sunday was a lack of success rate that allows them to get to a position on third down where they can execute. You could say that they will do better against the Commanders in this spot because their defense is just terrible, but the Lions also have been having offensive line issues and some injuries on that offensive line. So I think that has as much to do with sort of this line moving from, 8.5 to 8 down to 7.5, as it does with fading the Lions overall because of what happened last week.
Yeah, the biggest thing holding back Detroit this year, it's very simple when you dive into the numbers. They're 25th in third down conversion rate, and they're 18th in first downs. But
can't convert.
They can't, but this is the definition of a get right. They're playing a defense that in red zone efficiency, they're 27th in the league. They are giving up they're 30th in yards per play defensively. They're 29th and giving up the most passing yards in the league, and they're 23rd against the rush. So this is it for Detroit. If they can't get right here, like I said, maybe you're right. Maybe I'll swear I'm off for good.
All right, let's talk about the Chargers visiting, or the Steelers visiting the Chargers. The game was 3.5 on Sunday. It's moved down to 3. We liked it a lot at 3.5. You said you're hearing stuff from the wise guys on the Chargers, which is surprising to me because Joe Alt is out, and it's a game in LA where the Steelers travel, and it's going to feel like you're, back at the old Three Rivers when you're playing it.
Do not get it, especially when it's the +3. I just do not get this Chargers love. So it's another game I'm trying to be careful on because it does feel way too easy. Like we're getting a dog here against a team that should not be favored against this defensive front. And, one takeaway could be this defense played over 70 snaps against that Colts team last week. And that's not a pushover Colts team. That's a big, physical, really tough Colts team that could affect this Pittsburgh defense and what's already been a year of very up and down play, right? We joked about it. They need 5 turnovers per game to steal these type of games. So that's the worry here. But the one that really jumped out to me, I've had a couple people send me this stat about just Herbert and how great he's been in these night games, which was pretty shocking just because it feels like before Harbaugh got there, they were just so terrible, this Chargers team, and they just had no coaching. But he's actually on a 5-game ATS streak winning night games. I think the only one I could pop in my head was that Chiefs game to start the year. I know that was a night game for a fact when they played down in Brazil. In his career, Herbert, 16-9 against the spread, covering by 3.5 points per game in this exact night games type of game. So there's a lot to like him here as a favorite. He's 10-3 straight up in these type of games. I just wanted to bring it up just because we're so in love with the Steelers. I want to talk about the other side, why people might like the Chargers and Herbert to bounce back. But I'm with Chad. I just can't get over the fact that losing Joe Alt, this offensive front, him having no time. They can't set up a run game either because they can't run block either. It just feels so negative for this Chargers team. On the flip side, I just love Pittsburgh. So maybe, again, I can avoid it because I'm lying to myself saying, well, Pittsburgh's defense, 70 snaps, now short week on the road. That's a tough spot to put this defense is, but just, man, what am I grabbing here with this Chargers team other than Herbert? It just feels like a lost bet.
Here's what, if I had to predict how we're narrowing it down on Sunday, I think we're talking about San Francisco. I think we're talking about Arizona. I think we're talking about Houston. I think we will have talked about Denver. I think the Jets will be in the conversation. I know Miami's going to be in the conversation because I already could lean that way, and you're feeling strongly about it. So, and maybe Green Bay. We'll have to have a conversation. I don't think Detroit's going to make it. I don't know if the Steelers will make it either. Maybe that's a mistake, and we'll talk it out on Sunday. But those feel like the games to me. Again, Denver, which we both love tonight, Thursday night. The Jets +2.5. Let's see. The Cardinals plus 6.5, which is our brass balls. The Niners plus 4.5, and Miami plus 9.5 feel like the leading contenders. Simon, give me your biggest bets.
Yeah. Obviously, people know, love Denver tonight. I'm going to have a lot of money tied to them. Dolphins, bet pretty big into. Bucks, bet pretty big into. And, a lot of these games are weighing positions. Like 49ers, probably going to put as a bigger bet. Same with the Cardinals. Just waiting to get better numbers on those games.
We were going to, last week, we did underdog parlay and favorites parlay. And because, we are leaning into favorites so much more, we ended up having to do both sides of games, which we don't love doing. So my suggestion, I think Matt Mitchell's suggestion, I think your suggestion, is that we skip the underdog parlay and
we'll
lean
just
into
do 3.
All right, let's do 3 for the underdog parlay. Let's do 3. That's a better idea.
Jets plus 110.
I was just going to say Jets have to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Jets. Texans.
Let's see. Texans
Niners.
They're plus 110 too.
You got to put Niners.
I don't hate that. Texans.
Niners.
Let's see what the Niners are. Plus 185. Yeah, I like that.
All right. Underdog money line parlay round robin. Jets, Houston, Niners. Favorites.
Panthers,
Lions.
Panthers, Lions, Ravens.
Ravens for sure.
There's a really nice Bucks trend where basically like Baker's 10-0 in this exact spot straight up. So I like Bucks minus
Listen,
140.
We're all in on the Bucks either way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Who am I missing here? Bills.
Nah, because it's too big.
We did Lions.
It sucks because the Colts are across seas, but I kind of love them after that loss. They're minus 340. Colts.
All right. Favorites parlay: Panthers, Lions, Ravens, Bucks, Colts.
Unless you like the Bears over the Colts. Bears are minus 210.
Let's do the Bears.
Bears?
Let's do the Bears.
Yeah.
Better idea. I had already forgotten about the Bears.
And then Survivor before we get out of here. Tough week. I unfortunately already used the Lions. God. I can't believe I'm doing it. Panthers. Give it to me.
Wow.
I know. My God. I got to do it though. It's that year where you guys start getting into the ugly teams that win each week. So I'm gonna go Panthers.
All right, Sharp versus Square. We both lost last week. Would you like to go first? You had the Chargers last week. I had the Jags.
Ooh, I guess I'll flip it. Last week I went with a minus 9.5 road favorite. Give me Miami plus 9.5 home dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. That makes me feel even more confident about putting in the contest, though. I will tell you that.
That's scary.
I'll go with San Francisco.
There you go.
San Francisco.
What number are you taking? 4.5? 4?
4.5. And you're taking Miami plus 9.5.
Let's go.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. This has been Sharper Square, part of the Volume Podcast Network. We will be back on Sharper Square on YouTube on Sunday morning as you eavesdrop on our intimate conversation. We will panic, make human decisions, regret the rest of the day. We'll be back on Sharper Square YouTube Sunday night, 7:30-ish p.m. to recap all the misery. Watch or listen on Sharper Square YouTube. Like and subscribe. You can also download us from Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe, leave us 5 stars, say whatever you want. Feedback is a gift. Till next time, love you.
Hey,